And we're live. Hey everyone, Eric Thompson here. Welcome back. I hope that you are doing well on this very special Mother's Day edition of E.T.'s Film Review Top 10 series. We haven't done a top 10 video since Easter.
Yes.
I filmed it on Good Friday and posted it on Easter, and that was my personal top 10. Top 10. No one, I don't think anyone even watched it. It was awesome. Anyway.
They got progressively worse. After I appeared, they just went downhill from there.
That is not true. Anyway, Daryl, you were the constant. Okay. Anyway, I have a very special guest. Last time she was here, she was a girlfriend, Tori. But now, if you are stalking on Facebook, which apparently 96 of you at least were, then now she is fiance, Tori.
Bam! Right.
Well, look at that guy. And so we're going to get married. Sure enough, you know how that goes. On December 15th of this year. I'm very excited. What to say? We are in love, and we like movies. And so we're here tonight to share our top 10 kind of movie moms. Okay, not movies with moms in them, but movie moms, or characters that were mothers. More or less. And you'll see there's some, I don't know, it kind of gets weird. Now, my thanks again, and for the last time, for all of your spectatorship, participation during Lent. That was a lot of fun. And certainly worthwhile as we go into the next year, doing more video post type things. I think folks seem to enjoy it. It's certainly fun having you on and getting to kind of share you with people that way. It was very strange, but it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. So thank you for that. Well, I already said Happy Mother's Day. Or did I say that already? I don't know. Happy Mother's Day, even though Central Time, there's only 18 minutes left of it. So if you're on the West Coast and you get it in time, my mom, maybe she's waiting up to see the video. Happy Mother's Day to you, even though we just talked on the phone 20 minutes ago. But there it is again. Mother's Day special edition. Whatever. To be followed, I'm sure, by Labor Day and Memorial Day editions and
Father's
Halloween.
Day. Can't forget them.
We'll do a special Halloween one, of course. That'd be fun. I don't know what I would say. Ernest, what is that? Ernest Does Halloween? Was that? Okay, anyway, forget it. Let's just get on with it. All right.
E.T.
E.T.
Halloween. That was awesome.
There was a Halloween sequence in E.T.
Getting distracted.
What was the one with Bette and Liller when they were the three wishes?
Oh.
I put a spell on you.
Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus.
That's kind of fun.
Yes.
I always kind of liked it. Bette Midler.
Blinks, Blinks. What was the cat's name? Something like that.
Yeah. And that was at the same time when Melissa, what was her name? Had the witch show.
Sabrina. Melissa Joan Hart answering all the questions. The job things.
For the win. That's what the kids say. epic.org/ is this organic? Wi-Fi organic. That's no joke. Let's get on with it. Number 10. Okay, again. Top 10 movie moms. Special Mother's Day edition. Aretha Robinson, portrayed by Sharon Warren in Ray. Now, if you've seen the movie, you know that she is dead for the whole movie, pretty much. She died when Ray was somewhat younger. But Jamie Foxx's character, Ray Robinson, when he was born, continues to have these flashbacks of her and almost apparitions as she speaks to him and guides him. And no more powerfully in the film than when Ray deals deeply with his drug addiction. And is he going to get out of it? He's in rehab. Is he going to go all the way through? Is he going to break through this addiction? And she appears to him over and over again and encourages him. It's very, very powerful. Very, very strong. And so again, well, not again, I haven't said it yet, but in a film, to have a character that is not present in the central action, but who's present by virtue of their past presence in the story. It doesn't happen a lot because you can't waste that much time on flashbacks in movies. But this movie does it, and Aretha is a strong character in this film, among all the other great things about Ray as well. But certainly her love, which pays it forward, okay, into Ray's life. Number 9, Edward Scissorhands, Peg Boggs, Avon Colleen. Okay, portrayed by Diane West, W-I-E-S-T. If you know her, apologize that I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I've already spoken of my affinity for Edward Scissorhands, which was the beginning of what cinematic association?
Yes. Tim Burton and
JD.
Yes, Johnny Depp.
And music by.
Oh no, I don't. I know the answer to this question, but it's on the tip of my tongue.
That's a fail blog.
I'm sorry, guys.
I can't see it. Danny Elfman.
Yes. Danny Elfman.
So anyway,
I knew that.
There you go. We'll get our fact checkers right on that. Okay. There we go. Would you check that, please? Thank you. Okay. Hey. All right. There she is. She goes up to this house, this old haunted mansion, which is where anyone would go to make a sale of makeup products. She stumbles upon Edward. Holy smokes. He has scissors for hands. And she does not turn away in horror. No, she embraces him. Takes him off of the hill, away from the haunted mansion, and puts him in the middle of her home. Boom. And there was never a question about her maternal instinct toward him. She loved him, she accepted him, she cared for him, she helped him, and she, most importantly, helped him to integrate into community. And then, of course, well, you know what happens at the end. Very good. Number 8, Elastigirl, voiced by Holly Hunter from The Incredibles. This was on your top 10 animated, wasn't it?
No, it was not.
Was it on mine?
Maybe.
I think it was. Was it? Well, our fact checker will check it out. Thank you. Great movie. Fun to have an animated film by Disney Pixar that has a whole family in it. Because as you know, and the great joke is with Disney films, especially princess movies, there's no mother, they've died or whatever. I mean, your Beauty and the Beasts and then on down the line. Where's mom? Who knows? Except for Mrs. Dumbo. Keep that in mind, right? Because you remember Dumbo had the big ears, but Mrs. Dumbo was cool. Anyway, we forget it. Okay. But here we have a whole family with their strengths and their weaknesses. And here, Elastigirl in the middle. And what I think is so wonderful and beautiful about Elastigirl's character is that her special power is almost entirely defensive, okay? Unlike, what's his name? The dad.
Mr. Incredible.
Mr. Incredible, who is Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Rambo, Go Time, all offensive, okay? And then Speedy McSpeederson, little kid, zipping around, you know, kind of whatever. But mom's special power, is defensive. She protects her children. She puts a covering around her children. She keeps her children and her family safe at all times. I think that's a beautiful illusion. And a tip of the old ding-ding-dong to the place of the mother in the family. The moms keep us safe, and they protect us from dangers and from ourselves. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. No.
Yes.
Think about it. Number 7. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. I know Michael here knows what I'm talking about. Daryl, finally, we arrived. Daryl, we came full circle, brother. That's right. Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum. Sarah Connor, portrayed by Linda Hamilton in Terminator and Terminator 2. This is throughout the TV show. No one cares about that, okay? But Terminator and Terminator 2, The Judgment Day, or this Judgment Day, Sarah Connor. Now, if there was ever a mom who was willing to go to the plate for her son, who, of course, would be the leader of the resistance and fight all the RoboCop guys in the future, boom, it's going to be Sarah Connor. Holy smokes. You remember those movies? Whoa! Although I thought about The Bride from Kill Bill. I considered that. Maybe she was more intense, but that was different. That was more a revenge story, which was okay. It was what it was. But Sarah Connor, at every turn, quintessential soldier, very exciting. If you've seen the movies, you know what I'm going to say. Let's continue. Number 6, Nia Vardalos, portrayed by Lena Kazan. or chasm. Again, this is, how do you say? In my big fat Greek wedding, okay? Nia Vardalos. There you go. And what did she say so famously about the woman's place in the family?
I've run out of answers to your questions for the evening.
The man might be the head.
Oh, but the woman
is
the neck.
The
She turns the head whichever way she wants it to go. Got it.
There you go. There you go. But in this film, and certainly, to the credit of whatever her name was, who wrote it and started it, you have the instance of a mother that's who is trying to combine different worldviews, different perspectives. This is not uncommon at all. Someone in the family has to do it. Gus, the dad, is so entrenched in his ways, in his orthodoxy, he's not going to budge. And so she has to be the one to say, no, Ian Miller, Protestant that he is okay. He's okay to come into this Greek family, okay, this Greek Orthodox family. And certainly that sentiment of the man may have the head power, the esteem, the ego up here, but that the woman can sort of guide that unkept, ridiculous strength, or whatever it is. Maybe it's not strength, maybe it's all foolhardiness, I don't know. And maybe not, I've already experienced that in this. Hard to say. I cannot attest to it now without embarrassing myself. Number 5, we're halfway through, doing very well. Linda Shell. Not familiar to you? You probably didn't see the movie, but I bet you read the book. It was very experimental, apparently. Portrayed by Sandra Bullock. I'm not going to go to the blindside thing, okay? We can talk about that later. In extremely loud and incredibly close. Now, I can feel Tori foaming to say many things about this film. I'm going to let her say it in just a minute, but I want to say my piece first, okay? If you know anything about the story, you know Tom Hanks. Have I said enough? He dies in the World Trade Center Tower attacks of September 11, '01, okay? And so the son, his name is?
Oscar.
Has to deal with the repercussions of this tragedy and is not good. He does not know how to come to terms with this incredible loss because he and his dad were like father and son, okay? And so he embarks on this nuts, crazy journey to sort of find his dad, find himself as a young man. And his mom is in grief. I mean, in the deep mourning for him. But she lets him go. Or so we think. I'm just going to give you a little spoiler alert. Put the spoiler alert sign up. Thank you. At the end of the movie, we learn that she was with him the whole time. That she was watching him from afar. That she always knew where he was going. That she had kind of coordinated everything. That he was taking the adventure on his own. But that she was always with him. And that, in a sense, she was grieving through her son's adventures. Very powerful. And I'll let you vent. But to the credit of the film, at least, I think that some of those scenes between Sandra's character and Oscar were some of the most visceral, at least in films that have come out in recent years. Really incredible drama and a look into what those moments are like when everything seems lost, because everything is lost in a family. Now, I want to give you a chance to go ahead and make your peace with God and our listening audience, viewing audience.
All right, I will keep this brief. I just want to say I don't like Sandra Bullock. I'm not going to see this movie, probably not ever. I'm not promising that I will never see it, but I have boycotted it thus far. I had the chance to see it with him, and I did not go. He went alone. I love the book. I love the book so much. And Jonathan Safran Foer, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he's the author. It's fantastic. But the thing is that this is a book. It is not a movie. It's experimental, as he said, mocking me. There are pictures, there are pages that have just numbers on them or one word right in the middle. There are multiple different perspectives and voices. There's Oscar's grandmother, who apparently is barely in the movie at all, who's writing letters. There's Oscar's perspective going around. It's crazy. There's a flip book in the back of it. It's awesome, but it is not supposed to be a movie. Read the book. Don't go see the movie. The end.
That is why everyone should own a Kindle. Now,
and no, don't read it on the Kindle. You have to go get the book. Get the book from the library. Buy the book. It is a book.
So the Nook is better.
On paper.
iPad 2. Is there a 3-way?
Don't do it.
Okay, she said many things. Number 4. Euphogenia Doubtfire, dear. Mrs. Doubtfire. I remember this movie from back yonder days. Well, what was the other big Robin Williams there? Hook. That's right. Kind of at the same time, Mrs. Doubtfire and Hook. What a great time for Robin Williams' career. It was a good time then. That's right. Now, of course, we immediately have to deal with the issue of, is not Robin Williams a man? Well, apparently he is. But here he is, dressed up as this, what country was she from?
But she's British. She's British because she can't, her accent is weird.
That's right, yeah.
And what's his name? That guy, Pierce Brosnan, yes. His character notices because he's actually British.
James Bond. You know what I'm going to say. He's actually Scottish.
Well, his character is British. I didn't say Pierce Brosnan.
Yes, okay. Very good. So, here we are. A man trying to get his kids back, okay? Sally Field, she's the worst. How dare she? Boom. He's out of there. Of course, it's the court decision. I understand how it goes. And he wants to get back. He wants to get them back. And get back at her maybe a little bit. But he just wants his kids back. And so he disguises himself, or is disguised, as Euphogenia Doubtfire. And comes into his own home. And portrays a mother figure. Because Sally Field is out doing her thing. Whatever she did in that movie. Whatever her job was. But he becomes a mother to his children. Having already been a father. And transforms himself, literally, to be with his kids. And there's a lot to say there for that. And you see that Sally Field still does okay as a mom, but it's really Robin's his character's spirit and heart that eventually drive the family to reconciliation. Even though, of course, when his plot is discovered, high tension there. How could you do this? How dare you? What is wrong with you? But then, of course, Sally Field sees that his dedication to his kids drove him to this extent, and that he found it worthwhile. Made for a great movie, too. I mean, not a cult classic by any means. I think it plays on TBS every weekend or whatever it was, on one of those Lifetime-type channels. But anyway, it's a good one. Very good movie. And just curious to see how Robin handles that. Okay, how Mrs. Doubtfire handles that situation, and certainly all of the fun that comes out of it. Number 3, okay, how about a real person for a change? Abigail Adams, portrayed by Laura Linney in the, yes, made-for-TV series, John Adams, HBO series, of course. Now, I know what you're going to say, this is not a movie.
If we're getting into TV, we have to open up the world of Gilmore Girls on top movie moms, so...
No. Never.
You know it.
Lorelai Graham Gilmore, whatever her name is. Lauren Graham, Lorelai Gilmore is not a real person. Abigail Adams is. That's right. Wife of the first vice president, second president of the United States, John Adams, was one of my great inspirational figures. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Is he in heaven? I don't know. Presidential heaven. Anyway, if you've seen A, this series, if you've B, read the book John Adams by David McCullough, Pulitzer Prize winner, or if you've 3, read anything about revolutionary history, and know about Cecilia Adams, you will know.
Abigail.
Abigail.
Cecilia.
I'm sorry, Cecilia's everywhere. You were not Abigail. Abigail, you were not Cecilia. Abigail Adams, you will know that she was quite the mother. Holy smokes. John was off down yonder, trying to get this crazy thing called America going. War of Independence, right? They're trying to write the Declaration, if they're even writing it at all, and they're doing all this. Where is she? Back at Brainerd with the kids, and they got the pox going around, and she's running the farm, and she's doing all this stuff, and she's trying to defend her home and keep her kids safe, because the British are just stomping around right there in that Boston area, okay? Kind of unbelievable. But also, and I know this is not the basis or for our credential for our list this evening, but she's an incredible wife. And often, I mean, often they wrote to each other. John and Abigail did. Almost all of their letters are still maintained, and published in volumes and volumes and volumes. And you can see her love for her husband and for her children. It's incredible. The lists of quotes really go on and on and on. But we found a couple. I think if maybe you'd like to read one, and maybe I'll read another one. What do we have here?
Right. This one doesn't really have to do with being a mother all that much necessarily, but it's very famous. If you know anything about Abigail Adams, you might recognize this. And she wrote this in a letter to John Adams. She wrote, "Remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. Do not put such unlimited power into the hands of the husbands. Remember, all men would be tyrants if they could. If particular care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a revolution, and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation." So, right on, Abigail Adams.
Thank you, Sister Abigail. Or another way of saying it, the man is the head. The woman is the... yeah, I get to say one. I thought this was just so simple. Where is it? We lost it already.
There.
When he is wounded, speaking of her husband John, I bleed. That is her sentiment. That was her whole life. Her whole life of compassion and servitude to her husband and to her children. And how beautifully put and so simply, when he is wounded, I bleed. That's very sweet. That's all. Okay. Number 2. The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Wrong musical. Right name. How do you solve a problem like Maria? That's the right musical. Maria von Trapp, portrayed by Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music. Now, give me a break. I realized that when the movie started, she was a
nun.
And then she became a
governess. Well, yes, that's the word.
So she left the convent, still a nun, kind of, we're not really sure. Went to the Trapp household, in the movie anyway, not in real life. Went there, did this thing, oh no, too close, came back to the convent, nope, climb every mountain, back to the household. There they are on the terrace, somewhere in my youth or childhood. Then a kiss in the gazebo, seals the deal, pow, boom, Mrs. Von Trapp. And of course, the rest really is history, if you've not read at all into this story about how Maria brought her family from Austria, Germany, into the United States, and they were a family band. They really were. They toured the country and the United States and gave concerts and all this stuff. She was a real person. Holy smokes. Quite the story. So we have, in the beginning, vocation. Maria is seeking out what God wants for her life. What do you want from me, Lord? What's in it for me? And she thought that it was to be a nun, to commit herself, to devote herself to Jesus and to the Virgin Mary through solitude and works of service. I guess not both necessarily, but to works of service and works of charity and mercy as a nun. And then, as God does, maybe he has done this for you, maybe he has done this for me. I know he did it for me with her. He spins us around and says, "That's it. Go get it." And that was what she found with Captain Von Trapp. Holy smokes. And they danced the Ländler. You remember that. You're blushing. Am I blushing? You know what I'm saying. Okay. There you go. And then she becomes a mother. Stepmother, granted. But a heck of a mother. During wartime, of all things. Okay. Trying to keep these kids cool in the cemetery while the dad's out there trying to get the pistol from Rolf. You remember him. Oh, Rolf. Give me a break. Liesel, you didn't see it coming. No one did. Holy smokes, there he is with the pistol and the thing. And anyway, quite the story. Thank you, Julie Andrews, for an endearing performance and for a heck of a musical. Number 1. Would you just like to say any quote that she offered in this movie? You think of one?
No. You go. It's all you.
We'll do it together. I'll start it, you finish it. Stupid is?
As stupid does.
Boom!
Yes.
Life is like a...
box of chocolates.
You never know what you're...
gonna get.
That's right. What was the other one about the legs? if God had wanted everyone to be special, he'd have made them all the same or something like that. What was that quote? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. That's right. Mrs. Gump, portrayed by Sally Field in Forrest Gump. What does her say? Yes, I realize what she did with the school official, okay? Let's just look past that, okay? But why did she do it? For her boy, so that he could achieve success in playing ping pong for the U.S. for the United States and being in Vietnam and all this stuff. But if there is any character in film, if there's any mother character as endearing as Mrs. Gump, I don't know who it is. And I think we both kind of looked at top 10 lists and all that and tried to figure out, well, what do we see here? What are the trends? She's really at the top of all the lists, pretty much. I mean, some other folks squeaked in there, but Mrs. Gump is at the top. Why? Dedication, okay? Long suffering. You remember something to the effect of, with what Linda went through, and extremely loud and incredibly close, available now for download on Amazon Kindle. And here we have Forrest leaving home for a lifetime. And how does she follow him? She can go with him as he runs across the country, as he goes to serve his country in Vietnam, as he's out chasing after Jenny and all of these things. I mean, she lets him go all the way. But who is the first person that Forrest speaks of? His mom. And all of those really great taglines that came out of that movie are things that she said, except for the great shrimp litany, of course, you know. But can you play that back in your mind, and can you think about those things that he said, that Tori and I just said? Stupid is as stupid does. The box of chocolates line. All hers. They are his mantra. She is his mantra in life. What she did for him, how she encouraged him when he was younger. Holy smokes. If like I said, simply enough, if there is any character as sterling or as inspiring as she, as a mother in film, I don't know. And I mean, I was willing to go out on a limb here. Unfortunately, as you know, none of my cult films have any good mother characters. Labyrinth, no one there. You see her twice in the whole movie. Hunt for October, I can't remember her name. Oh no, this happened again. The second time I've done this. Last time this happened too. I can't remember her name. She was in there. The mom, Alec Baldwin's wife. Boom. Dr. Crusher from Next Generation and the subsequent movies. Okay? Never Ending Story. No mom that I can think of. Well, I think she died too. It's a trend. Okay, in some movies, an absent mother. And maybe that is enough too. And that should be noted as well. Final note is that perhaps it's the absence of mother in so many of these films that draws such beautiful dramatic tension and draws that beautiful plot line. Where is the mom? What is the protagonist trying to achieve? Something for mom, because of mom, mom's challenge, mom's admission to do something with one's life. I feel like I'm rambling. I definitely am. I'm real tired, but thank you.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows it's out in the open. We're doing good. We're almost at a half an hour. Okay. Anyway, just I wanted to note that. And that's curious, too, is that the absence of mom would be an equally strong plot, plot device as the presence of a mother. Okay? I think that makes sense.
Yes.
Let's just think back to all the... Anyway. We have some honorable mentions this evening.
Yes, I just have a post-it note. I wasn't really prepared for this when we did the animated movies. I did my research. I was very careful of talking to other people, getting my list in exactly the right order, and I proved to myself my list was superior. It was clear. People agreed with me. So, what does it matter? I'm here now, and so I have just a few that I wrote down that as it's not going to live up to my last list. But I included on my post-it note The Sound of Music. I've already talked about that. So a few more. I thought about Tarzan because Kala, the gorilla, adopts Tarzan. It's a human baby gorilla. Works out really well. Eventually, of course, he finds other humans and goes away. But it is a Disney movie with a mother, an adoptive mother, different species. But Nonetheless, Tarzan. Okay. Little Women, Marmy, best mom ever. Not best mom ever, I'm exaggerating. I just really love that movie. Makes me warm and fuzzy, and she's, taking care of the house, raising her daughters while the dad is away at war, and Susan Sarandon, can I say? Okay.
That's fair enough.
It's a Wonderful Life, Donna Reed, Mary, had to put her on there. The movie is all about George Bailey, but she's in the background, holding the family together, taking care of the kids. He's freaking out at Christmas time, and she's the one that's telling the kids how to spell and play the piano, decorating. And when he goes off, who knows where, she gets everyone together to save the day. She's really behind it all. It's not about George Bailey or Clarence the Angel.
Oh, Clarence!
Yes. And finally, the movie maybe is not that great. I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes and it had a 38%, so apparently, or 35, something like that. Apparently it's not very good. But I had to include the nativity story because Mary, the Virgin Mary, ultimate mother, period. What else do I need to say? Boom.
She was alright, I guess.
That's it. That's what I'm supposed to know.
And of course, what's the awful Hallmark sentiment? Mothers are so awesome that God wanted to have one, or something like that. However it goes. Excuse me, all you Hallmark freaks out there, for misrepresenting your awful quote. But it's true. The Virgin Mary is the encapsulation of all motherhood and motherdom. She is the example for all mothers, both those who came to have children through man, and those who came to have children in different ways. Tori is very blessed to have been born and come to her parents biologically. I'm very blessed to have come to my mother through adoption. Pow! Also biologically, but through another person. And of course, Jesus came to Mary and to Joseph, not through Joseph, but through the Holy Spirit. Holy smokes! Pow! And so she is an example to all mothers and to all people of how we should love and accept. And if there is any sort of trend here in the top 10 and in her remarks, it is that sense of raising and then letting go. And this is exactly what Jesus said when he said, if you're going to follow after me, you got to leave your mom and your dad behind. You got to leave your whole life behind if you want to come after me. And so here we are with mothers who are dealing with that. Can they let go? Can the gorilla lady from Tarzan let Tarzan go to civilization? Can Linda Shell let Oscar embark on a grand adventure in New York City by himself, okay, to find himself and to find the memory of his father? Can, I don't know, whatever it is. Can Mrs. Gump let Forrest go off to war and run across the country and do all these things? And they can, and they do, because that's how strong a mother's love is. And finally, of course, for me anyway, to thank my mom for all that she has done for me. Immeasurable worth to my life. Not with all the words that I can give, or all the songs I could sing, or all the poetry or stories that are available to me could I calculate or justly express my gratitude to her and my love for her. And so thank you, Mom, very much. I guess we can boil it down to that, and to everything that she has done for me. And I suppose I hope that you would probably say the same, or want to express the same,
My mom won't be watching this. It's 34 minutes long. But I would express the same thing. So, Mom, if for some reason you're watching this, hey.
Right on. Well, this is long enough. As you know, Tori's presence complicates everything. And so what could have been a 9-minute movie is now 34.5 minutes.
It would not have been, is what I'm trying to say. It would not have been 9 minutes if I was not here.
12,
you would just keep talking. It would still be 34 minutes long.
12 on the outside.
Let's just be honest.
I would have done just fine. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure of our almost 35 minutes, you talked at least 25 of it.
Oh, well, there's no doubt in that at all. Yeah. But you came with a Post-it note tonight. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there we are. Very good. Closing remarks. From
I have none.
Mrs. Thompson elect? None?
No.
Okay. Thank you all for watching. I don't blame you if you don't. But we did want to take this time to say, again, thank you to our moms and to all mom types, and to honor moms in our own funny little way by talking about moms from the movies, okay? And hope that you enjoyed this video. Probably will not have another video, come out for a while. Maybe Halloween would be fun. Maybe we'll do a 4th of July one. American movies. Patriotic movies, okay? That would be more fair. All right. What happens now?
We end the movie.
We terminate transmission?
Right there.
All right, go ahead and
Yes.
do it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.